Michael Carnevale is branch manager and financial advisor. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, 400 Southbridge Street in Auburn, Massachusetts, 1-800-657-9126. A member of FINRA SIPC and are not deposits, not insured by FDIC or any governmental agency, not guaranteed by Webster 5 Cent Savings Bank, and subject to risk, may lose value. Webster 5 Cent Savings Bank is not affiliated with Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated. The information contained in this report does not purport to be a complete description of the securities markets or developments referred to in the material. The information has been obtained from sources considered to be reliable, but we do not guarantee that the foregoing material is accurate or complete. Any information is not a complete summary or statement of all available data necessary for making an investment decision and does not constitute a recommendation. Any opinions are those of Michael Carnevale and not necessarily those of RJFS or Raymond James. Expressions of opinion are as of this date and are subject to change without notice.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Morco, Romeo Report, and as usual, we have our monthly meeting with Mike Carnevale, who is going to set us straight. Aren't you, Mike?
I'm going to attempt.
So, Mike, anything big, before we get into anything big happened this month? I mean, more crazy tariffs and stuff?
Mostly tariffs. Mostly tariffs and threats and people leaving one state on a plane to go hide in another state. Other than that, not much happening.
Well, there's a lot of states that people might want to get out of.
Mm-hmm. That would be one of them. I would want to get out if I was there.
You would want to get out of Texas?
Yes.
Sometimes in the year, I've known people in Texas, and they tell me how hard summer is for the weather, how hot it is. But I went to an obscure place in Texas on the Gulf once, and it's kind of a nowheresville, but it was fairly enjoyable.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like where I live, and even though we have some of the wackiest politicians in the world. I didn't say that. I take that back. Well, no, I don't. Anyway.
No, I agree. I like the variety of the weather.
4 seasons. Very.
Yep.
About tariffs, I would say. I think it's just going overboard, but Trump did say, well, you know, every other country has tariffs on us, too. I think being extreme is never good, so we'll see how it works out, but we have to wish him the best because we live here.
Oh, yeah. But it does affect the market. I mean, the last time he said something about tariffs was, what, a week or so ago, and the market went down 500 points for that day, and then it kind of recovered the next day. But it does grab the headlines, and it does scare some people.
Your only objection is he didn't call you 5 minutes before he said, Mike, I'm doing that.
Yes.
So you could sell short and then buy back.
Correct. I never got the call.
And I'm not happy about that either, but yeah, he hasn't called me yet anyway.
No, I hear you.
So getting to the normal aspect of life here, and
well, July historically is a good month, and hard to believe, but the last 10 Julys were positive. And that streak continued just barely for the Dow, and the Dow gained under 150 points for the month, but that made 11 straight Julys that were up, which only means we got to be near a top somehow. We thought that last month, and you know, plus 135 points for the month is, I guess you could say, was close to a top, but August is one of the worst months of the year, so we will see what happens this month.
So you're selling May, go away, come back on Halloween Day. The only time you should come back in the interim is July.
Is the month of July, yeah.
Month of
It's
July.
the only of those 6 months, that's the only month that's positive.
We're in August.
Yep.
And we should be scared.
Well, historically, one of the worst months of the year. don't read the notes too closely because they don't make sense. I don't know, somebody wrote that August ranks, it's to tell you how bad a month it was, the notes here say August ranks 19th of the 12 months in performance. So it's really bad.
Whoa,
Yeah.
boy, that's really bad.
That's
How
really
did
bad.
that happen?
Yeah, I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was ranked 19th out of 12.
Well, we have those double years now.
I
again.
guess so, yeah, person who typed this must have had,
So I'm betting,
problem.
I'm betting somebody put a 1 in there that they didn't mean to.
I think the 9 should be a 0, being ranked 10th of 12.
Okay.
And I think, I guess that because I think I know the person who put this together, and
Oh.
person might have been distracted at the time.
That person had just gone out to the Conopacky for a little too much.
Could have been. Could have been. Or had come back from She Kills Monsters the night
Yeah,
before.
Oh my God.
You know. We're not a critic here.
We aren't.
We aren't.
We would never criticize anybody.
No.
Absolutely never.
Never. And if you think we are, your hearing is
What was
faulty.
that? I'm sorry.
But no, July was a good month. Historically, it's a good month, so not much really happened.
All right. Why did the 30-year bond fall to 4.80 from 4.84?
Well, there is a lot of pressure for the Fed to cut interest rates.
You noticed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so falling by 0.04 is not much, but I think that had something to do with it. Interestingly, when the long rates went down a little bit, the short rates went up. So people who've got like money in money market funds, it's the best of both worlds. They're getting well over 4% for money that's not tied up. Yeah, and it's been that way for at least a year.
Now, I'm not watching closely, but you say the pressure to bring the rates down. People don't seem to be clamoring to defend Powell.
Nope.
Nobody. Not, you would think in our crazy political world, people would be saying, Trump is a fascist trying to push. So nobody sees, people are, I wouldn't necessarily say on Trump's side specifically, but they ain't the cavalry coming for Powell.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So September we probably can bet on that, unless nothing happens.
Well, based on what the Fed met in July, 17th or 18th, and of course they didn't cut rates, and the tone of what they were saying caused the chances of a rate cut in September to switch from a cut to no change. Now it's gone back to a cut, but not to the degree it was before the Fed met in July. So, it's probably 50-50 that they'll do anything in July. Yeah.
Not September.
In September, yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I almost, from what I was hearing, not really listening particularly sharply, I thought it was kind of baked in.
Well, it was up until the July meeting when it looked like, well, maybe it's not so sure. But they'll probably do a rate cut because this was the first time in I think 20 years or so there was dissension in the voting by 2 members. Mm-hmm. It was 9-2 to keep rates unchanged. 2 of them, who are pro-Trump members, voted to cut rates. So it's
well, I don't know. You saw both Powell and Trump with the hard hats on. Mm-hmm. You really get the vibe. Powell does not like Trump.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even though, didn't Trump appoint him?
He did.
Okay. he knows I don't know if he even wants it. He knows he's not getting reappointed by Trump.
Not as the chairman, but he's on the voting committee until 2028 if he wants to. So his term doesn't end until 2028, but his term as the chairman ends next May. But there's a pattern of this, right? You know, Trump's hired or selected people, and a percentage of them, it seems like a large percentage, he loses their support. I don't know why that is.
Well, you know, on the Epstein thing,
Yeah.
he comes on heavy. We're going to get this. We're going to do this. We're going to get this. If you still want that, well, it doesn't exist. Why, you know?
Yeah.
So, no day is the same with him. No minute is the same.
Yeah.
You never know. And it wasn't. He had his problems in the first administration, but I didn't think it was near like what it is now.
I don't think so. And I think the big thing with that Powell-Trump Fed visit was when, and you said, you know, Powell doesn't care for Trump, and it was obvious. It really was obvious when Trump pulled out the letter. And, you know, he said, I didn't hear anything at the Fed. He says, oh yeah, he says, it came from your people, from this one over here, see? And the political thing would have been, I'll look into it, maybe make a comment 2 days later. He said, oh, well, yeah, he says, you're including a building that we finished 5 years ago. Oh, but it was still part of the whole thing. No, he says, that building was built 5 years ago. That told you, right? I mean, the guy, Powell, kind of stood up to Trump, so you know that the relationship doesn't exist.
The honeymoon is over.
Over.
Yeah, can we say that?
Yeah.
The bloom is off.
Yes.
Anything else you want to just?
No, I think that covers it. No love lost there.
No sale at the corner packy.
No, I don't think so. Maybe the liquor store, but not the corner packy. I don't think we have a corner packy today.
In anywhere? You know,
Here. I think we had one here a few days ago, but I think it left.
okay, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's just,
But no, that kind of tell you where the relationship is, right? I mean, you know, it would be interesting to see what Powell does do. Does he stay on the committee for 2 more years and vote, or does he
well, does he need
disappear?
a job? Does he need a job?
Yeah,
Well, then he stays, probably.
I'm guessing he disappears.
And if he can have some fun bugging Trump, why not?
Yeah,
But
he certainly got the money.
yeah. He can at least have a sort of almost tie, because Trump's a lame duck.
Right.
28, they both leaving in, well, January 29th, Trump is leaving.
Right.
And so Powell leaves in 28.
He could stay till almost to the end of Needham. That'll be interesting to see if there's really that much hatred there, or it's like, no, I'm done. I'm going to. They usually end up at the Brookings Institution, right?
Yeah. So there's a sinecure. The only problem in life is you and I don't get
Right.
off at sinecures.
Right.
But there's a heck of a lot of them.
Oh
down
yeah.
In American think tank land. Okay, so the technicals.
Even though the market gained, not much, 135 points, you would have thought the technical indicators might weaken. They actually got better. And even the sentiment improved a bit. So that would be kind of conflicting based on historical results that show August is not great. Maybe this is going to be the one year that August is okay. But the technical indicators did improve, and the short-term sentiment also improved, that's a big one. Big thing, the sentiment. In other words, the numbers didn't just move a little, they moved enough to change the short-term outlook. So that's kind of interesting, and we'll see if that foretold a good August. We'll know in a few weeks.
If there were a good August, would that put pressure on the Fed?
It would probably take pressure off to cut. Because if the market's doing good, no real reason to lower rates. But you'll see further down that a lot of the jobs numbers are weakening. So at some point,
we're gonna, yeah, that was big. We can,
Yep.
yeah, we will talk about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, you had that implant, the stochastic
Yes.
oscillator.
correct.
How's that working out for you?
Seems to be doing okay. 100's the worst reading. You know, a couple months ago it was in the high 90s. It's still pretty high. I mean, at 88 out of 100, but still saying that the market is overpriced in the short term. It would have to get below 80 for it to be sort of fair value. So, you know, the one that really changed was the volatility index really picked up. That's usually a sign of a turn in direction, meaning from, well, the recent market has been up, so the turn would signal it would be going down. The other thing was that greed and fear index moved down a bit. That's a positive. So you're getting some conflicting signs, and maybe, you know, maybe there's a reason for these conflicting signs, because the market, like we said, only moved 135 points in July, so it wasn't big either way.
So that from extreme fear to extreme greed, now at 49 versus 64 a month ago. So it's kind of, you're saying, no,
Getting a little better.
not neutral.
Neutral, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
neutral.
everybody's just being calm.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And as we mentioned, there was no change from the Fed. Vote 9-2. First time since 1993 that two voted against policy. And we're saying part of that result is because we're unsure about tariff effects.
That's what Powell said in his press conference. Yep.
Futures markets signal a cut in September and December.
Yeah.
So what would, if it looks like a cut, why would Powell go against that?
He probably wouldn't. But the odds of the cut are not as great as they were prior to the meeting.
Okay.
And they see inflation, you know, back up over 3%. It had gotten down to 2.5%. And they see growth slowing down too. So if those two things are true, again, they're conflicting, right? You wouldn't want to raise interest rates if inflation was going up, but you wouldn't want to cut interest rates if inflation was going up, but you would want to cut interest rates if growth was going down. So, right, so it's a lot of mixed signals right now.
Okay. I took out a car loan and I wasn't fantastically happy about the rate.
Yeah, those rates
Right.
have really gone up.
I have good credit. And,
Yep.
So that was not, I'm not happy with Mr. Powell for that.
Yep. Yeah, those rates are really high, really.
Okay. So let's look at few interest rates. Canada, European Central Bank, nothing. But back on our radar is a country that had escaped it. Turkey.
I don't know what Turkey did, but my notes say Turkey cut rates.
Actually, it says Turley.
Turley, they also cut?
No,
I
it
missed-
says Turley.
It says Turley. Yeah, Turley cut rates by 3%. I don't know who he is.
You
but
should not have gone down for that trip to the Carnevale.
I think you might be right. The day I did this,
I know that was the first cure you thought of for your tooth.
yes, yeah,
And,
that could have solved it, but
yeah.
probably caused another problem.
Okay. So we're going to work on our typing.
We're gonna.
But Turkey was off the list, and Turley was too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no place called Turkey. I just want to get that straight.
Okay. All right. So, but yeah, they cut rates. Who knows why? But their inflation rate is down. It's still 35%, but a year ago it was 65. So I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I think what Turkey does is all political. So, because we raise rates by a quarter, maybe a half, cut rates by a quarter, half. Turkey, Russia's another country that moves them, by big numbers,
Russia does?
Turkey, 5% at a time. This time was 3%, and then who knows? Next month they'll raise them 4%. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get a.
Well, an inflation rate of 43%, even though it's down from 65, your lira, that's I believe what they have, is cut in half from what it can spend. Makes us look like, gee, we're really we're really doing good.
We're very responsible. If you want to be compared to Turkey.
Well, do you want to be? And also, it's not only is it not Turley as a country, it's not even Turkey anymore.
What is it now?
Turkey.
Oh, really? Okay. Did not know that.
That's in the Turkish language.
Geez, I hope I remember that, because I don't have anything to write that down.
They basically have said, call our name correctly, you Turkey.
Oh, okay. Okay. So does that mean, what did you say was Turkey?
Turkey.
Turkey.
See, I know that pain in your tooth.
Yes.
And you bring, tequila?
It's coming back.
Drew, could you bring that bottle in here? He doesn't look all that well.
So what would you say, Ken?
What?
Let's focus on something else. Let's focus on my tooth. What, tequila? Turkey. That means what? In November I got to order a tequila? Or can I still?
That's why they change it.
Okay.
They know certain people.
Certain feeble
who
people.
Remain nameless.
Yes, well.
But their initials are my Carnevale.
Okay.
Mispronounced their name. And I just want to tell you, the people at the consulate, it wasn't me.
I'm going home a different route tonight.
I would.
Yes. Wait till it gets dark.
But
the light's off.
That would be smashing.
Yes.
Anyway, doing oil, Russia got to 18%. That's nothing compared to Turkey.
No.
Right. Oil, mid-60s.
Yeah, it's still holding, although it seems like the price is going up at the pump.
It just, at the pump doesn't necessarily affect at the barrel. I mean, at the rig, at the well. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they do.
Yep.
We're running out of. We're cutting the number of rigs.
Yep.
But we're increasing the amount, or staying stable
with the
amount.
production. Yeah. But a lot of that is, when you say 540 rigs, 80% of that is in like the Permian Basin, Texas and New Mexico. So it's kind of.
That's just that's just coming out of the ground.
Right. That's really. I think over 400 of the rigs are located in that energy field, and the rest is scattered all over the place.
Okay, inflation. June consumer prices rose by 3%. So 0.3%.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that for the year?
2.7,
That's 2.7.
and that's up from the prior month, which was 2.4. So inflation's starting to go back up again.
Of course, food and energy, the Fed, one the Fed looks at was up 0.2%.
Mm-hmm. That one's also going up.
So we're never going to hit that 2%.
Doesn't look
target.
like it. Nope.
Okay. Oh, but just as a small thing, I don't know if we mentioned this last month, but we threw something overboard. This country did.
I don't know.
The government did.
I still don't know.
No more penny.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, it's going to be a few years, I guess, before
Well,
they...
they wash out of the system.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were kind of base metal they didn't have much copper in them anyway. Now.
Right, right.
So we don't get to 2%. We don't need a penny. We're going to ask Mike, we're going to give him a little homework. When does the nickel go away?
Yeah.
When does the dime go away? When does the quarter go away?
Well, they say the...
When does the Benjamin go away?
Well, they say the nickel costs more than 5 cents to make.
Yeah.
So that would be the next one, right?
It's just will we live to see it?
Right.
Probably.
I wouldn't
About a
doubt.
month and a half. No.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. All that is going to raise prices, right?
Well, no. The price rise is what signals that the nickel is becoming worthless.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's causing the nickel goes
Right.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
Always happy to help out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of guy I am.
Okay.
Okay. Leading economic indicators, June was down
Down.
0.3.
And if you look at recent history, the last 6 months gotten worse than the prior 6 months. Stock market is of the 10 components that make up this index. Stock market was the best performer. But the worst again was consumer expectations. And that's big because our economy is so driven by consumer spending. So that's kind of a negative trend.
Yeah, because we don't make anything, so
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you see the trend here. Inflation's going up a little bit. Economic indicators are getting a little worse. It's probably going to eventually lead to a need to cut rates.
but maybe not in September.
Maybe, most likely, but not as short as it was a month ago.
All right. Why don't we turn over to something that was pretty horrible?
Yep.
The employment report, and somebody, the person who writes this out,
Did they make another mistake?
no,
Oh, good.
very weak.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And we're quoting somebody in this room.
Yep.
July saw non-farm payrolls up by 73,000. That is a very weak. It's the 54th straight monthly jobs gain, but it's the third month in a row less than 150 needed to grow the economy.
Right.
And it's less than half of that 150.
Correct.
Really weak. So is that more of an indicator of the Fed?
That is. That's a big thing. And, I mean, but the president has taken steps to correct that. he fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics who puts out this information. So,
Thank heaven. I was wondering.
yeah, he got rid of her. And with the tagline, oh, this was an this was a Biden hire, and she's not counting the numbers right, and so I think it's good that the administration's got a hold on this, and it's going to get better. Going to get better.
All right, healthcare led the way in the jobs, which means people like me getting sick in old age.
Hasn't helped me this month. My dentist was unavailable on vacation, but I guess in certain segments of healthcare, there are more people working.
And well, I've heard that there has been a boost in clove oil production.
Oh, it probably has been.
And that's, and that is now considered part of healthcare.
Healthcare, okay. All right.
The labor force did fall by 38,000.
It did.
What caused that?
That's a bad sign, because usually history shows people only enter the labor force if they feel good about, one, getting a job, or their short-term outlook on the economy and whatnot. So, I mean, you'll see on prior months that gain was like 100, 200, 300,000. To have it reduced by 38,000, again, that's another sign that, things are slowing down.
It does look like it. Well, time has gone by, and July was looking up, but not everything is. And
correct.
so we'll be back in September. Well, probably by the time we meet again, we won't have heard if there's what time of the month will they be?
I think it's the 19th of the 26th.
So by our next meeting, we won't have heard any good or bad news from the Fed.
But we'll get closer
We'll get closer.
And the odds will have firmed up a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been privileged to have Mike Carnevale with us again. We hope you come back next month. This is Richard Marco, and the Long Hill Report, Conversations With. Thank you very much.